So, and I can forward this on to Allie. There's a couple links in here that I wanted to share with everybody. And basically what I wanted to share with you this evening is just a brief overview of our campaign resources that are available. I have had the pleasure of being the director of the Florida Grade Level Reading Campaign for the past 7 years. In fact, just today we announced my 7th year anniversary, as well as Christy, my colleague and partner, that is our consultant and does all of our special projects work. She came on 2 years ago in March, right at the start of COVID. So we are both excited to be celebrating our anniversary this month and in being with the Florida Alliance of Children's Councils and Trusts. And you might actually know our agency name. Formerly, we were called the Florida Children's Council. So we're the CSCs across Florida. It's our tax-based initiative where communities can put the initiative on the ballot and get taxes and a millage allocated to children's issues. And we have right now 12 different counties that participate with us as members across the state. That might seem like a small amount of counties. However, we actually are in the largest counties and we serve over half of the children under 18 across Florida in the counties that we do serve. So we've got quite a broad reach through our CSCs, as well as my other hat is the director of the Florida Grade Level Reading Campaign. And we currently have grown from 10 communities to now 24 communities serving 36 counties across Florida. So we're half of the counties of Florida have local grade level reading campaigns. So we're super excited about our rapid growth over the past few years. We're an initiative that's funded by the Helios Education Foundation, and we're excited that they just renewed our grant for 3 more years, which allows us to do a lot of great things for free to the population of Florida. And all of our activities focus on children ages birth to 3rd grade because our ultimate goal is 3rd grade reading proficiency. So let me go ahead and advance a few slides. I've got only about 10 slides here to click through in the next few minutes. And again, I can share this slide deck with Allie and she can pass it on along to you. And while I'm talking about some of these different initiatives, I just want to invite you to immediately, you have anybody, whether you're a campaign partner or not, has access to our website, access to our Dropbox, which is our current repository that has all of our documents, all of our resources, all of our reports and summaries. So I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. And I hope that you'll take advantage of these links and just kind of learn a little bit more about us when you have some extra time. So Florida GLR is our website, and it details all the different campaign communities across Florida that we have actively participating in our initiative. We do hope to grow our campaign community and have every county in Florida participate officially at some point. But honestly, right now, we're focusing on quality over quantity. We have, like I said, we've got the 30-some communities or counties across Florida, but we want to make sure that they're doing quality work. So we're really focused a lot on that in the upcoming 3-year grant cycle that we have. So let me tell you a little bit about what's in our Dropbox. We have great partnerships across Florida that we've been nurturing over the past 7 years. And we've been able to partner with different universities, different experts in the field of early literacy and early language development. So we've been able to create some fantastic tip sheets. These are ideal for our 4 and 5-year-olds just kind of entering kindergarten. We worked with University of Florida Lastinger, and we have 15 tip sheets that are for parents, 15 tip sheets that are for teachers, and 15 that are translated into Spanish. We are trying to make sure that in the future, moving forward, that all of our productions are available in Spanish as well. So as I tell you a little bit more about our resources, you'll hear me saying that we now have them available in Spanish. So we're most excited about that University of Florida Lastinger relationship. We've been working with them since the inception of our campaign. They are wonderful literacy experts there at Lastinger Center for Learning, and they've worked with us on several different projects. And actually, when I chimed in a few minutes late here a moment ago, you were mentioning the Sound Beginnings training, and that's another great production that we partnered with the Lastinger Center. And that's a 2-hour training for early language development. So we have ambassadors across the state that go out and present this workshop for free to try to get providers and parents to understand the importance of early language development, basically meaning talking and speaking, not writing and reading quite yet, for our birth to 3-year-old population. You'll see early care brochure information listed here under my resources, and that also is another very hot topic that all of our partners seem to love. And I've got a few extra slides that I'm going to show you in a moment that feature the different elements of early care, because this is a free text messaging service that we developed several years ago. I think it's now in its 3rd or 4th year. COVID really put a pause on things with that particular project because we weren't able to be out and about with people. But it's a subscription text messaging service, and where I think it might be good for you and your Kiwanis partners is that if you're doing any type of tutoring with students, this is a great parent resource to let the kids know about. Their parents can sign them up. It's for, again, any parent with a child ages birth through 8 years of age or 3rd grade. And what it does is it sends out 2 text messages a week on healthy development for young children, as well as literacy and educational tips. And what's nice about it is it's customized to your name, being the parent or sponsor, and the child. So the text message comes through, and like my text messages for my 3 children say, Jen, have you read to Jeffrey today? You know, it might just be simple as a little sentence like that. And it's age appropriate. It's developmentally appropriate by age, so that when you register, you disclose the birth date of your child. So every message in the system goes out directly based on the child's age. So if you have an infant, you're going to get developmentally at infant messaging. And if you have a 6-year-old or 8-year-old, you're going to get developmentally appropriate information for those ages. We started it off as an early learning and early literacy development tool for infants and toddlers. And it quickly grew, and everybody said, why don't you make it for the whole spectrum of ages that you service? So we did, and our partner Gomo Health that developed this with us allowed us to expand it to age 8. So right now you can join for free. If you have a child that's birth to 8 years old, you'll get 2 text messages a week with simple instructions on how to do either healthy activities with your child, educational activities, literacy activities, and it's got a lot of great resources. So I've got a couple slides in just a moment that will showcase that a little bit more. We also work with the school age population, obviously, but primarily the kindergarten to 3rd graders. And so we've got after school resources that we help children in kindergarten to 3rd grade during summer camp time of year, and after school services. So out of school time services, that's what OST stands for. We also have a lot of policy work happening. Helios, our funder, is very interested in creating long-term policy for early learning and early literacy. Every year is different. We just finished session now after 2 grueling months. So we're excited in the next few weeks to be announcing our debrief, and we'll host a workshop that will debrief all of the legislation that was passed this year that pertains to early literacy and early learning. And then in general, this repository, our Dropbox, hosts all of our meeting notes, all of our PowerPoints, all of our report summaries that we put together. So while it might seem a little overwhelming when you first open it up, it's categorized into folders, and it's very clear as to what you're looking for by title of those folders. And then we're very big on videos. The past few years, we've developed about 20 different videos. We have some summer learning videos that showcase the importance of getting your child active in learning during the summer months. And so we'll be launching that again now at the end of this month, because April, May, June, parents are scrambling for summer services, and we want to make sure that they're picking quality opportunities to engage their children during the summer. So we have some short versions, some long versions, some English versions, and some Spanish versions for not only summer learning and the importance of keeping your child engaged during those months, but also attendance. Attendance might not seem like an early literacy initiative, but because early literacy is so critical, every day that a child misses of school, they're missing learning opportunities. And that kindergarten to 3rd grade, what they're learning about literacy and vocabulary and fluency of reading and comprehension of what they're reading is so critical that we put together some public service announcements around that as well. So we've got short versions versions, long versions. And actually, when I say short and long, short versions are 30 seconds and long versions might be as long as 2 minutes. So they're really not that long. And then maybe the first video that you would want to look at if you're not all that familiar with our campaign would be our campaign overview. And it's about a 3.5-minute video, and it just highlights all the work that we've been doing for the past 6 years. And we're just excited to showcase that to anybody, especially when we meet new friends and partners across the state. So a couple more resources that are free and available to everyone that I just want to make sure that you're familiar with are our SLSA course. We worked with the Department of Children and Families to develop a supporting literacy and school age programs training course, because many of the professionals that work in out of school time programs, being summer camps and after school, are not professionally trained working with children. They might be college kids themselves. They might not have background working with children. So this is a very simplistic 5-hour training module that exposes anyone who wants to be a tutor or an educational support to a young child in terms of literacy development. It's a 5-hour course through DCF, which is on their platform. All of their courses are only $10. And you can log on and off as many times as you want within a 90-day window and take that course and receive a 5-hour training certificate. So we like to promote that to all of our after-school partners and our summer camp partners. I mentioned that we do policy work, and my CEO, Michelle Watson, is our key person for that. She's located up in Tallahassee. While my office is up there, I actually reside in Fort Myers and work out of my home, as you can see behind me. So Michelle does a fantastic job during legislative session to make sure that we're in tune, in touch with all of the legislators around early literacy and early learning. We have a phenomenal production that we put together each week that summarizes where the legislation is during session. And then now that we just ended session, we will do a recap of that, have a final newsletter that will announce all the bills that were passed. And then we'll be doing a webinar, as I mentioned, in the upcoming weeks to kind of debrief and talk people through all the legislation that's been passed. So let me just take about 2 minutes to do 3 more slides pertaining to the early care text messaging service, because I thought for this particular audience that this would be something that would be of most interest to you all. We're very excited that a new component to this platform just launched this week. In fact, we did a webinar on it last week. And we want to make sure that everyone knows that this platform is absolutely free. You can register up to 3 children under any telephone number because it is a text messaging service. It's not an app. So the one thing you do have to be willing to do is disclose your telephone number. However, the only people that see this platform on the backside of it is me and our developers, Gomo. So it's a very secure system. So let me just share a couple slides with you to tell you a little bit more about what early care is and how you could share this with your other partners. And if you're doing any tutoring with children, if you're working with any families, to get the parents engaged in this platform. Again, it's for birth to 8-year-olds. It's available in English and Spanish. It's 2 texts a week per child registered. So as I mentioned earlier, I have 3 children registered. So I get 6 text messages per week. It's super cool because it says my name and the child's name in most of the messages. And it really focuses specifically on health and development of young children, as well as education and literacy development. So one more slide on this, and then I'll give you a link if you're interested in checking it out a little bit more. We've got tons of brochures available. If any of you are interested, we're happy to ship those to you, and you can disseminate them to your families and friends so that the parents will register for this text messaging service. And we have brochures and posters and print ads for online. Of course, we had to convert a lot of things to online during COVID. And then, of course, we have that new brain health development for new moms that we're so excited about. If that piques your interest, you can text the number, you can text early care, the word early care, to the number 52046. And this will give you a quick sampling. If you do it now, you literally will get this message within the next few minutes. You'll get about 8 or 10 messages coming through on your phone immediately. However, that's not the way the platform works. The platform will only give you 2 messages a week because it's designed for behavioral management, and we know, or behavioral science, and we know that 2 messages a week, it's been proven that 2 messages a week are just enough to nudge a person toward a good behavior. If you do too much, they get turned off. If you do too little, it's not enough to turn them on. So 2 times a week, you'll get a message on the early care text messaging service. So jot that word down and that text number down. If you are interested, you can visit our website. You can text this number right here on your screen, and you'll get a sampling of that. So lastly, I just want to share 2 initiatives that we're partnering with. Again, we partner with a lot of different agencies statewide, our Division of Early Learning, Florida, FSU, Florida Center for Reading Research, University of Florida Lastinger Center. The New Worlds Reading Initiative is something you'll want to be familiar with and share it widely. This is a new piece of legislation that was passed last year, and the funding allows for 4 years of books to be sent to children in grades kindergarten to 5th grade once a month during the school year for any child that's identified as reading below grade level. If they're reading below grade level identified by their teacher, they automatically qualify. The parent can go to this website, register their student, give their address, and they will be shipped 1 book per month during the school year, along with supplementary parent information. So the object is to have the parent engage with the child and get them excited about reading, as well as building that home library. So to date, we just heard the team from New Worlds on a webinar the other day, and they have over 100,000 children registered already. And it just started in January. And they actually believe that, according to statistics, there are over 500,000 children in kindergarten to 5th grade per year that are not reading at grade level. So they're only at 20% of the population that they feel they should be serving. So we will continue to promote this and make sure that all those children in need and that are reading below grade level can receive these free books throughout the year. Then we have another pilot project that is sponsored through Footsteps to Brilliance. They are the contractor for this award through the Division of Early Learning. And this is a digital platform for early learning, meaning children ages birth to 5 years of age. And it's a digital platform that allows for early learning and reading on a digital platform. So it's a book library that guides the child through activities that will help them teach language development and words. So this is a pilot program through the Division of Early Learning, and it's actually running from January to June. So it only has a few months left. Once it's done in June, they'll do an analysis of all the children that are in the program and see if this online option is doing the children stimulated at a young age and helping them learn early language development skills that will ultimately help in their reading skills up to the 3rd grade reading proficiency that is our ultimate goal. So in my last minute, I'm just going to share on this last slide. Our Capital Connection Live will be our policy debrief. We have not yet announced it. My CEO is on a well-deserved vacation this week, and she'll be back on Friday. She really works very, very hard and very long hours during legislative session. So she'll be back in the office on Friday, and we'll be determining what date in the next few weeks that we will announce our legislative debrief. And it'll be a half an hour to 45-minute webinar where we'll overview all of the legislation that was passed this year. And then most appropriate for you guys, most exciting, we've had a longstanding relationship with Kiwanis in helping us promote our No Small Matter documentary. We established a Florida fund with $5,000 that allowed for this fantastic documentary to be screened for free instead of having to pay $300 per screening. We funded it. It's been going for 2 years. We just depleted the fund last month. However, we're going to offer it 2 more times for free in concert with some big special events across the state and the nation. And upcoming in April's Week of the Young Child, we will be sponsoring this link, and you can jot this down. The Vimeo link will be available the entire week of the young child, which is April 3rd to 8th. You click on that link, you can watch this fantastic 75-minute documentary about the importance of early learning. And then what we've also been doing, particularly with Kiwanis and our other partners across the state, is having community conversations around this documentary and doing an action plan. So that now you watch the documentary and you see how important early learning is, but what are the next steps to make sure that we continue on with this effort. So we were thrilled to screen almost 70 times across the state in the past 2 years for free. And they don't track the numbers of people viewing it, so we really can't tell, but we don't have accurate numbers, but from what we can tell from our partners hosting these events is that we are in the tens of thousands of people that have screened this. We will be doing it 2 more times, Week of the Young Child in April, and we'll do it one final time in July, which is grade level reading week, the 3rd week of July. So those will be our last 2 opportunities for free screenings. It's still out there and available, but we're making it free through this fund, and the fund recently was depleted with these last 2 screening events. We always have monthly meetings, so if any of this information has piqued your interest and you want to learn more about us, we have monthly meetings, and our next one is coming up in April on the 28th. So with that, I'm going to pause and answer any questions that you might have.